What's up, everyone? I'm GKB, aka The Governor, and today on Gamers Knows Best, it's the Drive to Work discussion. Today's topic is all about Phil going crazy on Twitter, answering a bunch of questions, giving us some new information. So let's go ahead and get into the video and talk about it. Alright, I want to start off this video by saying thank you to everyone that supports the channel and this series. Really stoked, really happy. I appreciate all the feedback. I read all the comments. Thank you for all the topic suggestions and everything like that. I really do appreciate it. I just wanted to say thanks. All right, let's go ahead and get this video going. So Phil Spencer, as he usually does, gets onto Twitter and answers fans' questions. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the stuff he answered, because I think some of it is pretty good, interesting news to talk about, and you know what it means for gamers and Xbox gamers. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about is Phil was asked, you know, when can you start pre-ordering the Scorpio? You know, they want to get their pre-orders in now, they want to support Xbox, and Phil comes out and says, and I'm paraphrasing here, this is not exactly what he says, but he's like, wait till you see the games on the Scorpio before you pre-order. People on social media took this in two different ways. One took it as a negative, others took it as a positive. So let's talk about the positive. Number one, you as a consumer, you as a gamer, should do this regardless. Like, you shouldn't be pre-ordering things and stuff without seeing what it actually does and what it's going to benefit you. I mean, if you have the Xbox One original or the Xbox One S, I would think that you would want to wait to see the Scorpio if it's going to offer you a benefit to upgrade. If you're not into resolution and you're just into good gameplay and all that, maybe it's not for you. Also, I think the other positive thing is I think Phil has some confidence in the Scorpio, and he's like, I want you to see the games, I want them to speak for themselves and go from there. And I think that's great. I think a lot of, you know, other companies should go on board with that. Like, instead of, you know, go buy it, go pre-order it right now without even seeing it, you know, buy season pass and all this other kind of stuff. It was kind of refreshing to hear from a head of a company saying, hey, wait a minute, wait till you see what we got before you go ahead and want to pre-order it. I think that's pro-gamer, and I think that's pro-consumer, and I thought it was pretty fantastic. Now, the other side to this was, you know, people just being completely negative about the comment, being like, oh, Phil, you know, knows it's not going to be as powerful and all this other kind of stuff. And I really didn't see that in his comment whatsoever. I don't really know where that's coming from, and honestly, I don't think it carries any weight to anything. I think he was just telling a fan, hey, wait till you see the games before you go ahead and purchase it. That's really all it was. And like I said, you as a consumer should be doing that anyway. All right, the next thing that Phil responded to, which he wasn't really, it was in response to the Overwatch director talking about like keyboard and mouse. He was basically saying, you know, if they're gonna do it, meaning PlayStation and Xbox, do it all the way. Stop half-assing it. It's either give everybody the option to do it on everything, or don't do it at all, is basically what he was saying. And me personally, I kind of agree with the Overwatch director. Stop with this, you know, toe in the water kind of thing, you know, testing out and all this other stuff. You know how to do it. You know you can do it. Either do it, or stop talking about it, stop teasing it, and just fucking say it's not coming, period. Right? Well, Phil's response to that was, as he's been like pretty much through this whole gen, is he enjoys options. He enjoys giving developers options to use whatever they want to. Now, officially, keyboard and mouse support is not supported on the Xbox yet, officially. In the preview and program and all that kind of stuff, you can kind of use it a little bit, but you know, it's not on any official capacity at this point. And to Phil's credit, he's always been that way through the whole time. He's all about options. He's all about giving everyone options, even developers. and that's fantastic. But at the end of the day, either do it, Phil, or not. Like, enough with this already. I do think the way that Microsoft is going with, bridging the gap between console and PC, it's going to be here way sooner than it is later. We've already seen that on the Gears of War 4 game. They're doing extensive research and testing and getting all that together. So I think it's coming. So you're either with it or you're not. Time to get good, peoples. All right, the next thing that Phil was answering on Twitter was, is the Scorpio going to have a boost mode? And Phil responded with, he likes how the original Xbox One games are running right now on the Scorpio. And why wouldn't he? I think when it comes to the boost mode, it's really only going to affect games that have unlocked frame rates, dynamic resolution, and that's about it. Like, if a game's capped at 30 FPS because it's built into the game code, regardless if you have a boost mode or not, you're not getting any more than 30 FPS. Now, you might get stable 30 FPS, like if it's dropping below, you'll probably get like a lock 30 at that point. Maybe some better frame timing and all that stuff, and clean up some stuttering. Like we've seen on the Digital Foundry video, it even cleaned up like screen tearing and stuff like that. I don't think per se the Scorpio is going to need an official boost mode. I think it's just going to do that out of the box. From what we understand right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be a double GPU on the chip like it is on the PS4. It's probably just going to be one 6 teraflop GPU, whatever the case may be. So it won't need to do anything like that. It's just going to have the power to run any games, again, that are unlocked frame rates and unlocked or dynamic resolution. So it's going to peg them out at whatever it can do. Now, one of the last things I wanted to talk about with Phil Spencer and him, which is kind of a really cool one actually, and kind of gives us an insight of what might possibly be coming to E3. And that's when he said, he was asked about new IPs and games this year, and Phil stated that there's more first-party games this year than last year, and even uses the words diversity and a new IP. Now, last year we got Quantum Break, Gears 4, Forza Horizon 3, and ReCore as first-party games. This year we already know about a few of them already, and that's Halo Wars 2, which is coming out very soon, Sea of Thieves, which is slated for this year, and Crackdown 3. So that's 3 already. So he's pretty accurate that if all these games release this year, he's probably going to meet and or beat last year's first-party games. Now, us as gamers, that's fantastic news, right? Like, we want more games to play. I think it's going to be really interesting this year as far as, what we're going to see at E3. I think we're going to see a lot of games this year. But like I said, always keep your expectations in check, because if Microsoft doesn't have an early release or an early viewing of the Scorpio, that means it's going to be at E3 this year, which is going to suck up a lot of the time on stage, because for them to explain the Scorpio and have their messaging on point, they really got to take some time with it and explain to gamers why it's important to go ahead and jump on board with the Scorpio. I'm really excited about the possibility of a new IP maybe we don't even know about. There's rumors of Fable and all this other stuff, and I honestly would be ecstatic if a new traditional Fable game would come out this year. I don't know if it's going to come out this year, so that'd be interesting. I mean, it technically I guess could, because if they used all the Fable Legends like assets and added a story and turned it around into a Fable game, a linear story-based kind of one, maybe they had enough time. I'd like to think they would have enough time, but you never know. Hopefully it's something totally brand new, like a ReCore, not specifically a ReCore, but on that just brand new game. I'm all about that, new experiences. So, well, that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's drive to work discussion. Please hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about Phil dropping bombs on Twitter, throwing all kinds of stuff out there. Do you like the news? Do you not like the news? Do you think it's a bunch of crap? Let me know. Please share and subscribe. Again, thank you all so much. I really can't thank you enough for the great response for this series. I really do appreciate it. This is GKB. I will see you in the next one. And as always, take care of your fellow gamers.